Okay, story time. When I was a little bitty boy, I had ambitions to make film. But more specifically, I wanted to be a cinematographer. As a matter of fact, I was in the 6th grade the first time I took a stab at making a movie. It was a war movie. My buddy and I had just watched Saving Private Ryan, and it had changed our lives. It consumed us. So like any other obsessed little boys would do, we grabbed a camera, a couple of army jackets, some fireworks, and a few mannequin heads, and we were in business. In the end, as you can guess, it wasn't a very good movie, but we did show it to some parents and teachers who gave us some positive notes. And from that point on, and for as long as I can remember, I feel like I developed the ability to see a movie from behind the camera, constantly trying to deconstruct the filming process behind my favorite horror movies. And I came to the realization that cinematography creates the soul of the movie, and atmosphere is everything. And the best filmmakers learn to exploit this, using the location and scenery to amplify the suspense of a scene. The cinematography in the film we're discussing today is damn near perfect. That flick is 30 Days of Night. Vampire creatures decimating a town full of people during a blizzard. I'm telling you, it's an absolutely gorgeous picture to watch. So, seeing as winter is here and it's the perfect time to discuss it, it's time to cross it off the list. Without any further introduction, here is our take on 30 Days of Night. Welcome back to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am your host and your scary movie companion, Christian Ramey, and back again for another week, clapping your little ass cheeks, the best producer in the whole wide world, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. That's Mr. Ozark Mark. That's the guy sitting across from me. That's the guy in your other ear hole. Mark, how goes it?
Hi, everybody. How's it going? Yeah. This is the one and only podcast that you should be listening to, and I'm glad you're here. Welcome back. Welcome back. It is a fantastic new year. I hope it's going good for you. Hope it's going good for you. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well, too. So, almost through the rehab season. I have no idea which episode this is, but I feel like we're getting towards the end of it.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's 7,
yep.
8.
Yep, but it's going to get, if you're up in the Midwest area or anywhere near there, and you're listening to this currently, we are about to get a wave of blast of Arctic fucking weather. And it's going to be in the negatives. Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know about this.
The football games this weekend.
I know that's supposed to be cold. We're supposed to get it?
Oh, yeah.
Ah!
It's going to be cold. Wind chills in the negative double digits. Double digits.
Snow?
Yes. And I don't know. It probably won't near us, but it's going to be snow in other places for sure. For sure. So be prepared for that. But
I'm about to be ghetto in here. I'm going to just turn the oven on like a long...
Dude, I remember people doing that. Turn the oven on to get some heat on. It works.
It does, bro.
It does.
Bro. Especially, too, like if you don't want it to get hot and you're cooking, it's like, you're in the kitchen just melting. Like, what is it? Like the holidays, it's so hot in the kitchen. You're like, it is fucking 98 degrees in here, Grandma.
Dude, nothing's better than getting, like, just being freezing, and then you just go in your house, you're still all cold, you're starting to thaw out, you hop in that shower.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That's fantastic.
Warm your bone.
Anyway, since the cold weather's coming, Christian Ramey has picked a movie that fits the environment that we're about to endure. And that is 30 Days of Night.
30 Days of Night?
30 Days of Night.
Oh, you said that like Indigo Montoya. Like, or whatever. I like that.
It just came to me. Yes, we're talking about 30 Days of Night.
But he killed my father. I love that movie. I actually just watched that recently, Princess Bride. But yes, you are correct, Mark. This movie feels cold. All right. Let's just be straight up. Vampires. All right. I like a wide assortment.
Actual fucking vampires, though. Like, this is definition of what a vampire is. If you say the word vampire, these are the types of motherfuckers that I imagine.
I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, I mean, I don't love the Twilight movies, but I have watched them, and I understand that, like, okay, they're good movies for what they are. Not like something I'm gonna throw on necessarily, but for a teenage girl, like a romance movie.
Those
like,
are family vampires.
I would much rather, like, my 14-year-old daughter watching, like, the Twilight franchise than watching some, like, reality TV bullshit. It's like, okay, you got an imagination. You know what I mean? Like, you got some imagination. But you are correct. They're kind of soft. Matter of fact, in Twilight, they didn't even eat people. They went after animals.
What? That's even worse.
Yep. And then you kind of get meet in the middle. What about like Lost Boys? Because they transform at times, and there are times in Lost Boys where they're like, you remember around the fire where they fucked those guys up. It was bloody and they looked cool, but they were also like beautiful at the same time. They were like glamorous vampires. And then, especially once you went into the 90s, that got really popular back with the Victorian vampire. Like when you think of like Bram Stoker's Dracula or Queen of the Damned or Interview with the Vampire, you get some of those Victorian vampires that we've grown to love. Blade was kick-ass because it gave us new vampires. And now there is that kind of vampire. Like when you think of like the Brood from WWF days, like Gangrel and like those kind of vampires with the shades, that's because of Blade. Well, 30 Days a Night done gave us some demon vampires, dude, and they're fast. They're like primal animals, and they have their own language, and they're creepy. And I would say around the late 2000s and in the 2010s, it got really popular with that kind of style of almost, I don't know if Dawn of the Dead remake kicked it off, but like just giving fast zombies. And then it kind of went into like that World War Z style. This movie, you know what it feels like? It feels like if Storm of the Century and I Am Legend fucked. And you'd get this. And sprinkled with a little Buffy the Vampire Slayer, honestly, because I thought the vampires were cool as hell. And that's one thing I will give props about the show of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Their vampires looked really cool. And I liked how they looked when they died. And it kind of, like they turned to dust. Like, I love when people think that out. I like when that is thought out. And whoever was behind designing these vampires in this movie, holy shit. Holy shit. Now,
holy shit.
As always, we need to... This is going to be a brief one, but go ahead and hit the bumper. We got to fill some shoes, Mark.
We about to fill them shoes. We about to fill them shoes. Yeah, I'm about to fill them shoes. We about to fill them shoes.
Hey,
Hot
guys.
tracks for your ass. That's what that was.
Hot. Damn. Now, this movie is going to take it back a little. This is my graduation year of 2007.
Wow.
Jorts were definitely still rocking. Plaid shorts were cool as fuck, dude. I had me a lot of plaid shorts. I mean, I would rock plaid shorts all the time. Like, as a matter of fact, that's all I would wear. A white beater and plaid shorts. That's what Christian was doing in 2007. All right. With God knows what else. But we can, kind of re-jog the memory. It's not that far long ago, but there might be people listening to this show who might be born around that time. Now, that's fucking weird. Now
Fucking weird.
That's strange to think about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's at least you got an idea of what the number one song was on October 19th, 2007. Do you have an idea?
Okay, is that a hint? Is that Soulja Boy? Crank That?
Yep, that is correct. That is the number one song
Yep.
at October 19th, 2007. And for such an iconic, not like a good song, but a song that everybody knows. And let me just tell you something here briefly. I don't know what this is, but this is just I got daughters that do dance and cheer, right? And at the end of these big competitions, the girls from all the schools will go sit on the floor, right? And wait for the award ceremonies to take off. Well, in the meantime, and this is everyone, the DJ, for about 10-15 minutes, plays music. And it's the same songs I've been out of state. I've been all over. I've watched them on YouTube. It's the same. You got a couple in there, all right? First, the Cupid Shuffle to the left. Take it back now, y'all. And then like the wobble baby, wobble. These same ass corny songs that women are just like, I gotta get up and dance to this one. Like it just pulls them
in
out.
their
Like,
jeans, dude.
and they got like this
There's
weird
certain
little
songs.
fucking line step. There's this one called the church fucking clap. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I kind of hate it, but it is funny because you see like there'll be like 6-year-olds like busting. And you're like, go.
Every different age group has a certain song they just can't help but move to.
But what's weird to me is when Crank That Soulja Boy comes on, and some of these old songs that are like, oh, they came out when, like, I know these kids weren't alive when they came out, but like, it's one thing to know them and be like, cool, this is a song we're all dancing, but to sing every word of it, I'm like, huh, like, it's weird. Like in 2007, I would not have thought kids in 30 years, 15, 20 years from now will know the words to this song. Like, and still dance to it. It's just weird. It's a weird one. But yeah, for all my cheer dance people out there, that's a weird little segment of time. If you ever get trapped in one of those, you're going to find out. And it's like, what are these songs? And Soulja Boy Crank That is it.
I don't plan on it.
Well, good. Stay out of it. Now, for as good of a movie, or as a song we have, the movie game is weird here, okay? Because 30 Days of Night becomes the #1 movie. But there is the #2 movie is a movie called Why Did I Get Married? And I don't feel like I know anything about that movie.
I've never heard that.
Okay?
That must be a broad film.
Sounds like something I'm not going to watch. The third one is a movie called The Game Plan.
What the fuck?
I feel like that might have had The Rock or some shit. I don't know, dude. It's a Disney movie.
I don't know. Keep going.
Michael Clayton? Never heard of this movie.
Nope.
The Comebacks, I've heard of the Comebacks. Gone Baby Gone.
What a shitty year for movies.
We Own the Night. I hated that movie. The Rendition. Yeah, dude, this is bad. Across the Universe came out that year. How is that low in comparison? The rest of those movies.
I don't know, man.
So, weird year for movies here. Weird year.
Yeah, 2007.
310 to Yuma. Now, that was
I don't think I'm going to go back in time to 2007.
I really would not want to. That was not a great...
No, that was
year.
That was a bunch of crap.
Oh yeah. So,
but my shoes are filled, so that's good.
You got your cargo, or you got your plaid shorts on.
You're cranking that.
You're cranking that, baby. All right.
No lotion. You're cranking it.
You're busting out some mids. We'll break down some brick weed. We'll take out
my God, mids.
Go ahead and get me a grape whiteout, because that'll make this mids taste better.
Fucking mid. That they say it's mid now. It's like no. That's mids.
Y'all are mids.
Yeah, no shit.
Hey, you little fuckers that make fun of us, we died for your sins. You know what we had to do for weed? You're in there in math class hitting a fucking vape pen with more THC than my 5 blunts I had to smoke at 15 had. And you're just back there like, wow, I'm having a mental health day. I'm going home. Our parents would have murdered us. And we had to work hard. We had to meet criminals behind like random establishments, and then like like do some shady shit for like a small increment.
It's always like McDonald's or a fucking gas station or some shit.
And the dealers would be more sketch than you. They'd be, doing crazy shit.
Oh no!
Take it in this cup. You're like, oh, okay, all right. But yeah, we went through it all. So
it's just the stitch or two is like you're making it more obvious by making it. Whatever.
I know.
Everybody do. If you ever go up to a car and somebody goes into the driver's seat and puts their arms in there and then pulls out, they're getting drugs. Like, it's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so fucking. You know what I mean? It's so easy to tell. I still see it sometimes. But
we'd be
not
great
very
cops,
often.
but I wouldn't want to be one.
No, not today.
No, I mean, God bless them for what to do, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't do it because, like, I would go. Like Chris Benoit theme music would turn on in my head one day, just it would not be a good day, bro. Like, yeah, I'm not built for that shit. I'm one to admit that I am, it's maybe not the best for me. Did you ever hear? I heard this funny comedian he said, you know what you need to do? He's like, if a cop ever gets questioned, for shooting his gun the wrong way or in the wrong kind of manner, all you got to do is make him a firefighter, because you can't ever shoot the wrong fire. I got there and I just started blasting. Good, the place was on fire. Like that's that's what we needed. Like you're just on the wrong team. And I was like, dude's got a good point. Just start shooting immediately. It's a fire. You won. I was like, that's a good joke, man. That's a good little bit. All right, so we
give me a synopsis of 30 Days of Night.
So we got a place up in Alaska, and it's colder than hell up there. People that live up there, they're tough. They're tough-spirited. Just all the other type people that wear a lot of Carhartt stuff because they're tough. All right? The cold don't bother them none. Well, you got a bunch of people getting ready for the winter. All right? And it's about to shut down because they're going to have a big old storm. All right? And up there in Alaska, another thing they get is 30 days of night because the sun just goes away. They don't have no sun no more. Well, that makes them awfully vulnerable to blood-sucking vampires. And that's exactly what happens. Pack of blood-sucking vampires done works their way into the town and starts picking them off throughout the whole month. And what they got to do is there's a small group of them that end up laying low, trying to find their way out the situation. They don't all manage to make it out fine. And, some of them end up turning into vampires. And by the end of it, main characters end up turning into vampires. And, the fella Josh Hartnett's in this movie. All right, there's a bunch of different great actresses in this movie. There's that one, what's her name that was in the Amityville Horror? She was the wife, the whore in Amityville Horror. Just kidding, I didn't say that. Now her name is Melissa George. She's a good actress. I liked her in many films, such as Amityville Horror.
I feel like I'm sitting at a bar listening to somebody tell me about this movie.
No.
Hey, you see that movie?
Hey, man, you seen that? Them 30 Days a Night?
All right, stop talking like that.
The Night of 30 Days.
Stop it.
That's the funny part, too, when somebody's explaining something to you and they're, like, hitting you with the wrong title. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
It was the Night of 30 Days.
I just saw that Maverick's Top Gun.
I just saw that Night of 30 Moons. It was crazy. No sun.
Oh, yeah, my wife and we just watched the Hungry Games. It was
The Hungry Games. Oh, man. I'm going to call it that from now on. That's gone. That's stuck. That ain't going away. The Hungry Games.
Really hungry.
That's like Game of Thrones. That's what I say that too.
I like that. Now, this is good. Now, Mark, have you seen this movie before?
I have. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I rewatched it, of course, before the episode, yes.
So give me some initial impressions. What are you thinking of this kind of vampire movie?
I love this kind of vampire movie. There's, of course, they have to put in a story of the main characters, obviously. So they chose a love story between two people going through whatever, whatever. That's whatever. But I do like the vampires. I do like how ruthless they are. When I think of a vampire, these are the type of vampires I think of. Like, if vampires are real, these kind. They're scary. They're fucking hunters. They just maul you.
Yeah.
It's intense. Cool.
That main vampire, Marlowe, he's cool as shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think a little, it's a nod to Barlow, the Salem's Lot, But another creepy vampire. I love that, dude. And the snow made it even worse because I hate the cold. And when it's that cold, everybody's cold. Like, everybody watching that's like, fuck, you just want to be inside.
Yeah, well, it was cool. I liked what they did snow because when they went through the town and you got blood patches everywhere, the overshots of town.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, just the flyover of them just pretty much raping this town of everybody in it. You see people with guns trying to shoot a couple, and then it's just not working. Like,
it was like a hockey game, red ice.
It
man.
was.
It was cool as hell.
Yeah, it was really cool. And so snow and vampires is a very good mix, I would have to say.
I like that too because the houses are on stilts where they're at. Or like they're kind of like up a little bit. I'm assuming because of the cold and the weather or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
But these people started getting dragged underneath their house. And that looked really cool because when the vampires came, when they wanted to take their food, so to speak, they could just... And it was... You're like, dude, what do you even do?
I like also they used other people as bait, send a person through. Mm-hmm. Like they're smart, educated vampires, so they know what's going on. That makes it even more scarier. They're not just like mindless, easy to fool.
No.
They're intelligent.
Yeah, they were very smart.
Mm-hmm. That makes it even more scarier, and I like that.
I think the ending gave me a little bit of Lost Boys vibes too, with Eben kind of becoming the vampire, putting the blood in his blood.
Yeah, that was a cool end fight. The end fight was cool, but it's like, oh, of course he did, because everybody, if you're in that situation, just didn't make sense to me. So it's like, all right, so she's hidden under a car or a truck in the middle of a town, and they're burning the entire town before the last day. So they're trying to burn the town and make sure it looked like nothing happened. Well, they're in another spot, and Josh Hartnett's looking there. He's like, if she runs, she dies. If she stays, she gets burned. I was like, would she though? I mean, she's surrounded by snow. It's cold. I was like, anything, it's probably more comfortable being out there because the heat. So you're probably fine. I feel like if she would have stayed under that car, she would have made it just fine.
I do too.
But of course, they put in a little love story. So he injects blood. He becomes a vampire because you can't fight the vampires unless you're another vampire. Which was a badass little fight. It was cool, and how he got him was cool. But I'm sitting there, but like you can't say that you wouldn't be in that situation. If you were in that situation, you might do it too. Everybody's been in a love at some point in their lives that they would probably do that.
Sure.
So it makes sense, but...
The one part that I kind of call bullshit on, if you're in Alaska and you're in a frigid part like that, I feel like the Second Amendment would be practiced kind of the hardest there, right? Like... There's places in this country where people are going hard as fuck, but like, you're not only even dealing with people, like you got moose the size of bigger than your car, like way bigger than your car. Moose, by the way, are big as fuck. Like, look one of those fuckers up. They are humongous. Like, if you look up a video of them walking next to a car, you're like, oh my God. Like if that thing wanted to mess your day up, not even a problem for it. No, not even a slight problem. And those things are just roaming in people's backyards. So Alaska, I think there would be more firepower, and I also think people would be better shots. I mean, I understand some of the situations. For example, pretty early on in the film where the couple that gets their home broken into and the one guy's just like shooting everywhere and just like kind of like hitting them, but not in the head. If I'm seeing anything that's like... I'm not shooting anywhere else but the fucking head. I'm turning whatever its head is into lasagna before I can feel like, okay.
You definitely need a shotgun for sure. But that could be another thing. It's such a small town. The only way you can... That's an Alaskan small town. So the only way you can get into town is to fly in. And they got one general store. I highly doubt they have a gunsmith building, which they should.
I don't know. I'd be surprised. I bet they do. Dude.
I mean, sure in regular town, in a real actual town, not a movie town. I feel like if I lived all the way out in Alaska, oh my God, I would own the gunsmith. I would be shooting guns every day because you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. You go 1 mile away, you can shoot whatever you want. That would be awesome.
It's kind of like in some parts of like the deep South where you're just like, oh, there are people who would pay money to have this happen to their town. They'd be like, I wish a motherfucker would. You know what it feels like to own a Gatling gun and not use it? Like there'd just be people ready to go. Yeah. But aside from that, these vampires were not Walking Dead style zombies. These things were quick enough though where they could overpower and strength people and just like, you don't really see them coming. Like, they just are quick. And they toy with the food a little bit, but they are quick. But that was the only part, really, where I felt kind of like a stranger, same kind of way. There are parts in movies and books where you can tell that, like, whoever wrote the gun parts aren't gun people. And I'm not like a fucking, bootlicker, like, major go-ho gun guy. But I know probably more so than, like, some of the people making some of these films. And... there are parts that just have inconsistencies where you're like, nah, bro, like, if you went to, like, the city and, like, you have people shooting their guns, different ways, or, like a soft wrist kind of guy shoot his gun like that, I'd be like, all right, but this dude's like an Alaskan fucking brute. This dude should be like headshot every time. Everybody should have a Remington. Like, it should, I don't know. But that, aside from that, if you could believe that they don't, it's really enjoyable. And it's not like that will really hang you up the whole time, because eventually throughout time, I think the question of ammunition does come in mind. But I don't even know, dude. You know how some of these fuckers are, man. They just got like rooms dedicated for some shit like this.
Yeah.
And I feel like up there would be a lot of them rooms.
Probably. Yeah.
That would be scarier to me. Like I said, like being the strangers would be the scarier. Like, just like, yep, I'm going to go break into this person's home in America. Good luck. Good luck, because you are now allowed to be just Swiss cheese.
That's why no country can ever take us over, because we have guns everywhere.
Yeah.
Nobody would invade us.
They'd have a hard time.
That would be a horrible decision. That's why nobody ever does it.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter if you are in the city or the country or the suburbs. I mean, they're all over.
Everybody's got guns.
So I do like when movies play that out, like kind of like keep that realistic mindset of like, all right, people are armed. Not everybody's like fumbling the bullets. There's people that go shooting daily. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they love guns. And there's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody's wrong. And shit, you want that guy in this situation. You're like, where's Charlie? And he's just,
one guy who was working the plow, that's a guy that you want. His little hero scene was pretty cool.
Bo?
His little hero scene was pretty awesome. He was blasting them, chopping them.
And that guy from Sons of Anarchy or something. Don't he look like he's from one of them shows or something?
He is in Sons of Anarchy. He's in a bunch of other stuff. I mean, he's everywhere. He's one of those guys that's in everything, but you never know who he is.
He's a fun character, though.
Yeah.
He definitely helped make the movie.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I think there's a decent amount of kills in this. That's for sure. And I still find this movie kind of freaky. Like, I mean, I'm not necessarily scared, but you could definitely, like, my youngest was kind of trying to peep in and out, like, with this one, and I was like, I don't know with this one. This one's, like, a little...
No, because those vampires are creepy. They make a lot of creepy noises, and they kill brutally.
Mm-hmm. I liked when he put his little fingernail down on the record, and then he opened his mouth, like, like the music started going. That was cool.
Well, what was your favorite part?
Well, I tell you, another really, 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 really good actor, Ben Foster, the guy that was the prisoner in this movie. He was also an Alpha Dog. You remember, he's kind of like the Nazi guy in Alpha Dog.
Yeah.
Which, like, aside from like the Nazi part, he had like he was a great character in that movie. I'm not saying he was a cool person in the movie, but great acting in that movie. Also, what the hell else was he in? He's been in quite a few other things, but I really enjoyed him in this flick, and I liked a lot of the interactions with him first coming in. And I just kind of liked how he was freaking out. He definitely built the people coming. If this is your first time watching, that guy, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Because you know it's a horror movie, so you're like, he's talking about something. And he's like so confident, and he's creeping everybody out. So I liked that, but if I'm having to go with the rampage scene, I would definitely say when they went to go for supplies and that little girl. I mean, even the corny line, like, do you want to play with me now? Like, kind of thing. It was corny as hell, but that little girl was creepy. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of liked that. It was a fun scene.
That was a good one, yeah.
What about you?
Probably the no God part.
Yeah.
That's just a powerful, you got to feel powerful when he looks around, because, you know, they used the girl for bait, and then she tried, and they look at her, he's like, I tried, they didn't come out. She's like, please don't kill me, oh God, you know, oh God. And he's like, God. He looks up around her, he's like, no God.
Yeah, I know,
just
dude.
Fucking do it. That was powerful.
Yeah.
Intense, powerful fucking scene there.
Yeah, he was a great little leader, Marlowe. I enjoyed him a lot. And then I guess he had like a little love interest, that other little vampire, the girl.
Oh, yeah, that was another part that I liked. I did like them when he runs, there's a distraction, he goes back to Grandma's house to get her pot lights, her UV lights, and it actually worked. Like, it burned like a dude's bitch. She like burned halfway, so that, you know, that was pretty cool to see. That worked, actually.
I know. I like the UV scenes when they put them in vampire movies. Liked it when they did it in Blade, too. They got the big fat guy with that UV flashlight.
They did torturing him with it.
No! Yeah, that would be my exact process. I mean, I would definitely be trying to use some lights, but for real, I'm going headshot all the time. And I'm putting myself, I like the attic because there's no, well, they did have windows. So that's got to be kind of scary.
They didn't have windows in that attic. They had a little peephole that they were looking. Mm-hmm. But, of course, they had some guy's crazy dad up there making a bunch of noise and fucking shit up.
Yeah, that was a cool little element, too. I thought the dementia, because that's a real thing. Like, when you think of, like, the zombie situation or, like, just the situation where everybody's trying to be quiet, and people of rational minds can, but a baby can't. Baby's not thinking about that. Mm-hmm. Or this old guy with dementia. And it's like, fuck. You know, because, I mean, like you feel bad for him.
Like, you want to save him, but everybody's thinking, like, this dude's going to fuck us over, you know. And he ends up doing it, but he ended up leaving. And,
he's had a good life.
Yeah.
Just gotta let him go.
That's pretty much it.
His son came out like a dummy, though, trying to save him.
Well, of course he would. Anybody would.
He's being too loud. First off, here's what's happening. I'm grabbing a coat. I'm not going to shove that lady. I'm going to grab a coat, and then I'm just, like, I would tell her, like, look, I'm going to be quiet. Like, I'm going to reassure her. Like, I'm going to go find him, but I'm going to be smart. And he's just, Dad! Like, he's just out there, like, okay, stupid. Like, cool, yeah. Oh, you died 40 seconds later? Huh, wonder why. That's really weird. Maybe because you were screaming at the top of your lungs? Like, he's old. How far can he fucking get, dude? And there's snow everywhere. Look at the footprints. Like, stupid? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Some people, these are movie people. They're not smart. They're not supposed to be smart.
Darwin Awards, man.
Exactly. Know? But let's get a little bit more smart here and find out some things about this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the What Do You Know here. This is a segment here where we're here to tell you something that you may or may not know about this movie. If you know what we know, you're going to have a we know-gasm. If you don't know what we know, you're about to find out what we know, and you're going to have a we know-gasm too. How many times do I got to tell you this? You know what this is. You've seen, if you're watching this, we don't have any color. If you're listening to this, you got the music in the background. You know what's happening here, okay? This is not our first... What the fuck was that noise? This guy's doing drugs over here. Anyways, so I guess I'm gonna tell you my facts since you're busy over there. Anyways.
Sorry, I got scared.
Anyways. So this movie takes place in Alaska and it's snowy, right? It's cold.
Very snowy.
Do you think that was all snow? Absolutely not. This is Hollywood.
Fake snow?
This is Hollywood where everything is fake. You know what they used?
What'd they use?
It was salt.
Salt?
Use a bunch of salt.
I'd probably hurt if you fell onto
Everybody's very dehydrated from this film.
Yeah, your skin probably felt like shit.
I know, that was awful. I would not with the salt. Jesus Christ.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah, then they edited the snow digitally, other snow to make it look more snowy. But it was mostly salt, so, it was very salty. They were salty, if you know what I'm saying. So there you go.
I know what you mean.
There you go. What do you know?
I know quite a few things.
That's great. Tell me.
Let me tell you. Okay. Do you know the scream? Like the little signature screams that they had going on in this movie?
Yeah, they got the Wilhelm scream in there.
Well, they do have the Wilhelm.
That?
Yeah, well, not only that, but they made their own language, right? They made their own language for this, right? And they had people work it out. But the sound of the vampires, they were created, like the screams, it was a mix of the actors' voices, and then they used local death metal artists and used their screams. And then the signature roar of the vampires, when they were screaming, they did it while inhaling, and that's how they sound like that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, but I like that they used the death metal band,
Why would you not? That's very creative. That's very resourceful.
I could just imagine, like, hey, you guys want to meet up? And they meet up at, like, a KFC.
Denny's.
Like,
Yeah. The fuck is up, Denny's?
That's where you find metal bands at, is Denny's. I've learned from videos on the internet.
And then they say, I can imagine find them like, hey, we're doing a horror movie. You guys want to do this?
I need you to do some kind of scream. What you do on stage. Just do it into the microphone.
So that's a fun little fact. Now
I like that.
Let me tell you something else though. You know that little girl? The little girl in the store that they end up having to axe up?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how old she really is, because if you look, you could see a tattoo on her arm.
What?
Yeah, there's a tattoo on her arm.
What?
It's like a little stick figure.
Is there?
Yeah, it's on her right arm.
Are you sure it's a tattoo, or they didn't draw it on?
No, apparently it's like a logo of a German industrial band. I can't pronounce the name of it.
Well, is she one of them small people or something?
I don't know.
Or is she a regular sized person and they just digitally made her smaller?
Oh, you know what else they use for the voices?
Huh?
Marsupials. They use random marsupials. So there you go. If you didn't know.
Marsupials.
Yeah, so you might get a little koala, opossum voices in there.
That's not a bad idea. I like that.
Nobody says opossum. It's possum.
It's a possum.
Nobody uses the O. It's just possums.
It's a possum.
I say that's a possum.
I say it's a possum.
That way. Okay, well.
Who says opossums? What the fuck are you talking about?
People really like to pronunciate the O in that. Opossum.
How do you spell possum?
O-P.
It starts with an O?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
I swear to Christ.
No, it fucking doesn't.
I swear to Christ.
No, there's no way.
I swear.
There is no way.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
I promise you.
Hold on a second.
Yep.
No fucking way.
Yep.
I'm gonna type possum. P-O-S-S-O-M. That's how you spell No, possum is... It doesn't start with an O, you asshole.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
That you can tell. You can
It's
spell.
P-O-S-S-U-M.
I know, but the full name is opossum.
No, you're not. No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? What's that then? That's then opossum. It's opossum.
Whatever. I'm done with this fucking bullshit. I don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna start a fight on the internet, I swear.
Oh, the different animals. Opossums and possums are different animals. Opossums live in North and South America, while possums live in Australia. So opossums are what we have, and then possums are what they got down in Australia. But we just say possums. Nobody, but you'll find people that'll be like, opossums. And you're like, okay, fucker. Like, shut the fuck up.
If you call them opossums, I don't trust you anymore.
Can I please get a caramel sundae? We're not friends. Get out of here.
Caramel sundae. Caramel. All right. Enough with this. Enough with this. You know any more facts?
I think that's all of them.
Okay, that's good. We're gonna go now. Goodbye.
Mark.
Yes, hello.
There's a thing that also I feel like could have been used. I don't know why my brain went here immediately, but since the beginning of time, there's been fire, and fire always kills beasts. And I feel like my brain would have went to fire, like along with firepower. Yeah, sure, the weapons, but my mind would have been trying to construct a flamethrower, because you just burn them. You just burn them.
What happened to shoving like wood through their heart, right?
Yeah, stick them in the heart.
Stick them in the heart with wood?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they do?
Yeah. I think, well, we'd be on it. But
just get a sharp fucking piece of wood and make a little sword out of it or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be sharp.
Get some gloves so you don't get splinters. But anyway, it's like I feel like you either take them out at the head or you try to stab them in the heart with something. Now, obviously, that's easier said than done because these fuckers are quick. It's not going to work out the way you want it to. But, that's the weapon I would choose. I wouldn't choose an axe. But one thing that they do portray is how awful an axe actually is as a weapon. Because he doesn't get them first swing.
No, you need a couple.
It takes 3 or 4 swings, which is very accurate. Which I'm glad that they did that because an axe is a cool fucking weapon. It's awesome. I love axes, but it's a horrible, unpractical weapon, and they proved it in this movie, which is good. How's nobody have like a sword or something?
Yeah, I'm just not even I'm just thinking fire for some reason. but once we realized they are vampires, like, I mean, this needs to happen at a horror convention in Alaska. Then, you know, it'd have been a wrap. Everybody would have known what to do. Like, you know, garlic don't work, boys.
Oh, yeah, garlic. I forgot about garlic. They didn't even mention garlic. They were in the general store. Nobody grabbed garlic. You don't got garlic in Alaska? Y'all don't know how to cook up there?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I mean, we're at least going to try it.
Yeah.
I mean, if we got... These things aren't human. We can all agree upon that. So let's just start coloring outside the box here. Let's just try it.
Let's just start trying shit.
You know,
I'll
you
make
might
a
throw
bunch
a
of-
pizza at them and they're...
Yeah. I might just get garlic butter and just douse them or something.
Oh, dude, garlic bread, too. That shit stays on your fingers, dude. That stinks when you, like...
Yeah, that's how you fight them, is you just dip your fucking hands in garlic and just eat garlic. Just start punching them. I'd have a garlic necklace for sure.
Putting your fingers in their mouth like you're not even scared of them anymore. Like, come here, little bitch. Dude, that would be hilarious. Yeah, we got to try it, dude. But I mean, even in real life, I mean, all you need is like a Febreze and a lighter, you know? You can cause some damage. Let's just say, you know, a can of Axe, you never did that in your life? Of course you have, all right? Because you were a little kid who liked fire. And maybe it's because we're boys. I don't know.
I'd made an axe bomb. You ever do that? Like tape a bunch of axes together and throw it in fire?
No, but
Wait till it explodes.
No, I told you about the sparkler bombs we used to do. I asked Sandy about that one time, dude. We tape all these you tape a bunch of sparklers together and you leave one out like a wick. I shit you not, dude. You blow a hole off, or like a cover off a manhole. Like, I'm not shitting you. You can blow up a car. Like, I mean, it's intense. Don't do it seriously on some dumb shit. Be very responsible if you guys are going to do it. But if you've got land or property, I would recommend
If you
trying it out.
you choose to do the axe bomb, stand very, very far away.
Yes, but one time, though, we did this sparkler bomb in a backyard, and it was so loud, this dude's neighbor came out with a gun. He's like, "You boys all right?" Like, and we're like, "No, we're okay. We're okay." He's like, "I thought somebody was shooting." And you're like, "No, it's just a sparkler bomb, dude. Sorry." Like, we're just little kids, like, half drunk and smoking. I mean, we were like 17, 16 or something. I don't know, but it's funny. He did, dude. Ask him about that. The guy came out all fucking, "I thought y'all was shooting." No, sir.
That dude
Please
was
don't
just
kill us.
That's the kind of dude that's just waiting for something like that to happen so he can shoot his gun. Like, that's what he's waiting for.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just would have thought of that because fire is primal, and I'm always like, not like in a, you know, like in a horror movie situation. I just don't think people understand like how, like, you just need a bunch of I'm gonna throw this bottle of hand sanitizer on you and throw a match at you. Sorry, like, it's really not that hard to, if you wanted to, and I just think we would have tried that. Or like what do you do when you're in nature and you don't want to be fucked with? You could literally build a circle of fire around you, and you're gonna be safe from some animals. You might get a couple ballsy ones that try to hop over, but if you make a circle of fire around you, you're kind of safe. Animals don't fuck with fire.
No.
They don't. A lion don't walk the fire, you know? Like, I don't. That's not 100% what I'm doing in nature. Like, if I'm in a place where there's a bunch of scary animals, I'm just building a giant-ass fire with as much as I can. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be out there like fucking Xena warrior princess. Like, who wants to smoke?
Be like one of those hippie girls at festivals, like slinging those little ball fires everywhere just around you. Like, who wants some, motherfuckers?
I just end up knocking myself out with a fire stick.
That's a good way. That's a good way. That's who I would pick on my survival team, is one of those hippie girls. Just twirl fire. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, dude. I'm going Hawaiian. Like, I want one of the Hawaiian like fire dance guys.
That's even better.
Yeah, because I feel like they're in shape. Like, they're all wrestlers too. The Rock. Like, anybody that like kind of resembles The Rock or is the same shade of color, and I mean that no form of racism. I'm just saying of The Rock, like a are they Samoan or Hawaiian people? I don't know what you call that or what they are, but they are all related. They are all like, I'm not saying that is a mean thing. They are. Roman Reigns, he's like his uncle. Like, they're like the Usos, like, they're all related. And they're all super fucking athletic, dude. They come from warriors, dude. Different type of warriors. I say that with respect.
I know, us white people, we come from old drunken people.
Yeah.
who don't fucking do anything.
Irish peasants and shit.
I know. That's why we can never get to that physical level of them, because we just come from horrible genes. We come from horrible, drunk, lazy ass people.
Dude, I'm going with the Hawaiian or I want the Rocks fire dancer people, whoever they are, the guys from Lilo and Stitch. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I want them, all right? I'm trying to think of a team that can keep us out of this. All right, so we got the fire under control. Now we need who's our weapon guy? Like, we need John Wick.
Probably, yeah. John Wick, Jason Statham.
Okay, one of those two guys. Those are good picks.
Even Marky Mark. He was a sniper once. Mm-hmm. I feel like a sniper rifle would be the best weapon.
Oh yeah, especially if you were hidden. But you would need a guy with. You can't be a lone sniper because they'd get you.
Well, you need a silencer. You need a ghillie suit and a silencer.
Yeah.
And you'll be good.
I know, but they smell your blood. So like, if one of them just gets up behind you, and you're not paying attention.
Well, you got somebody to watch your back. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, sniper would pick them off.
2 snipers. Okay, and then we need the Frog Brothers because they're going to handle the vampire stuff. They're going to handle the garlic, the holy water, the crosses, and the stakes.
It's what this place is, one giant coffin.
The Frog Brothers, man. Yeah, so we just got a nice little team. I've mentioned that one gunship music video, Dark All Night. It had Tim Capello, the guy from Lost Boys, but it's a really cool animated video because David from the Lost Boys and like his group of vampires, which they're like more comic book like and scary, they take on George Clooney's character from Dusk Till Dawn. I forget his character's name, but you remember him. Obviously, They fight all the vampires. Has Blade and Buffy and the Frog Brothers, and they're all like taking on the vampires. It's cool as shit. But at the end of it, like where it looks like he's about to die, everybody essentially dies except for Blade, and a vampire's biting his arm, but he has this watch on that has the serum, and the serum fucking... So as soon as he's biting him, he hits it, and that goes into him, and it takes him out. It was cool. It's a badass music video. If you like that kind of stuff, Gunship Dark All Night, or Dark All Day. It is cool as hell. I'm still in, like, animators don't get enough credit because I don't draw. I don't do that shit, but I don't know who drew that. But it is like...
It's hard. That's a lot of fucking work.
And the song is incredible. Like a really good song, but the video is like, I mean, it might be better. Like, and you're like, damn, dude. But paired together,
holy shit.
Yeah, like you could play any song over that video. Like, it would be cool as shit. Like, it would. So I highly recommend that. But I'm a sucker for vampires. Also a sucker for badass vampires. So, middle of winter, how are we saying this again?
The 30 Days of Night?
The 30 Days of Night. You don't happen to have 6 fingers, do you? On your right hand.
You don't
Afraid not.
You don't happen to have any garlic on you, do you? Because we're going to need it.
Oh, man.
All right, well, I'm interested. This is actually probably the most horror-like movie we've done so far on this season, so I'm curious.
Well, we kicked it off with T2, Terrifier 2.
Oh, that's right.
But aside from that, you are
Since
correct.
Since then, I'm interested to see what this movie rates on the horror movie scale. Rated by Christian Ramey himself, the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into it through the portal. Keep your pants on. Sloppy Horror Rating, baby, yeah! Wow, what a wild ride.
What a hole.
Yes. This is the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating developed by Christian Ramey himself, your scary movie companion. This is a horror movie rating scale, and it's pretty fucking good. So we're going to get into it. Now, how we do this is we do this series 4 categories. 3 categories worth 3 points. Last category is 1 point. So it's a total of
10 points altogether.
That's correct. You should know this by now. And if it's your first time here, you're about to find out. So let's get into the first category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is casting.
So casting.
Casting.
I feel like this is Screaming 2 because this is an amateur They're good actors. They're people you know from places. But there's no, like, over-the-top performance where you're like, wow, there's no, like, Jack Nicholson Shining moment. Really good. Everybody's really solid. But I feel like, for me, it screams a 2. What say you, Mark?
It all works out. You went to me when I was yawning. It's not good for audio purposes, but no. Yeah, no, I agree with that. No, you put it all out there very well.
I spread that jelly on the toast. Put it all over it.
You put that goo on that toast.
Put it all over.
Yeah, so that's 2 out of 10 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the second category here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is kills.
Kills felt good in this. But also feeling like another 2. Like, more than a 1.5 to me, just because they were bloody as hell. And, like, there were a lot of screams. Sometimes deaths can be done brutally, but they're almost done funny. Like, even, like, in Terrifier 2, which was great with the kills, but, like, the bedroom scene, like, the victim's like, Mom, like, it's funny to some degree, right? But there are parts in horror movies where there are victim screams, and especially that first couple, that they went in their house and she was screaming on the floor, and then he picked up the fire poker and stabbed it through the husband, and he's a burly dude, and he's like, ah! And it was like, oh, okay. So it's got some brutal kills, in my opinion. Like,
it just doesn't hit the trifecta. There's not a lot of too much variety.
Yeah, not a lot of variety, but there's a lot of blood and carnage.
There's a lot of quantity. There's a lot of carnage. There's just not a lot of variety. I mean,
just people eating people.
People eating people.
People drinking people.
It's almost 2.5, really, because I mean, you got stabbings, you got maulings, you got people getting destroyed by construction equipment.
Yeah.
You got a UV light death. You got a stabbing through the face. You got gunshot kills.
You know what? You're right. You know,
there's a little bit more variety than we initially thought, but it's not.
Yeah, it's
not a perfect 3. It's a 2.5, I think.
Yeah. So 2.5.
2.5. So that's 4.5 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get to the third, final 3-point category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is fear.
It's a good one. Nice and freaky. I don't know where I'm feeling at this, but I'm feeling 2 or above. Because I feel like this could scare an adult. I feel like this make an adult uncomfortable. My wife wouldn't watch this movie. I shit you not, she would not watch this. She's kind of a softie, but she's also a grown adult who won't watch a movie. But also, she watched like the Night Swim trailer. And she's like, I'm not watching that. And I'm like, babe, it's not that bad.
What?
Yeah, she's
okay. Yeah, that's again. I mean, it's hard this is the hardest category for us to do because like you and me aren't scared of shit. When it comes
she
to
would
movies.
give a 4 every movie. Scary. And we're
I think this is a 2 because this is a very brutal movie. Mm-hmm. It is very suspenseful, very fearful, but also it's a monster movie, so it's very unrealistic. Yep. You don't have the realistic factor into it, which requires a lot of fear. That's what really stays with people when it's something that could actually fucking happen.
Yep.
This not gonna happen. But it's it's somewhat scary, and I think adults children for sure. No.
Oh yeah.
But there will be some adults that will not want to watch this movie. I believe that 100%. So that's 2. We'll go with a 2 there. So that's 6.5 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast ratings. Getting into the final 1-point category for half a point each here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is rewatchability.
That's a yes for me. I've seen this many, many times. I enjoy it every time I see it. It's not too long. I want to say it's like an hour 40 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's a fun little movie. This is a good movie if you're in the mood for a horror movie and it's cold outside. It fits the narrative. This is a great one to break out in winter, I feel like.
Sweatpants and some soup.
Absolutely.
Snowed in, dude.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're about to have a polar vortex this weekend. Y'all bundle the fuck up.
Yep. Put on some 30 Days of Night.
It's the 30 Days days, night.
All right. So
I'm
that
gonna
is
fuck you on all of them.
a total of 7.5 out of 10. Is that 7.5?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
1, 2, 2, 2.5, 4.5, 2, 6, 1, 7. 7.5 out of 10 for 30 Days of Night. Here on Sloppy Horror Podcast, right back up in your ass. There you go.
That's a solid score.
I think so. I think so.
Any of the movies that are above a 7 for us are like, I mean, I like movies that are 2s, but 7 and aboves are really when you're getting into the true horror, and that's exactly what this is. There's no other. It's not a drama thriller. No, this is a scary movie. Straight up, that's it. There's no ambiguity about that, and sometimes it's nice. Sometimes you want a Silence of the Lambs. A little bit of it's a movie, but there's a little horror in it, a little funny, a little romance, a little bit of everything. Not this motherfucker. It's just scary. It's just scary. I mean, he does love that girl, I guess, but it's like, what, 3 minutes of total scene of just like, we were together. Now we should, like, be back.
Let me know if you want to talk.
Yeah, right? Like, it's not like there was like a super scenes of passion.
there's no backstory. They talk, but I don't pay attention whenever they're talking one-on-one because I just don't care.
I judged her character from Amityville, and I feel like she's kind of an enabler, like she was in that. So, like, my face, I was like, it's probably her fault. My mind thought it was her fault.
Yeah, she's got teeth like you.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a girl version of you. Mm-hmm. It's like Christian Ramey with shaved face and a wig on.
That lady does kind of look like my mom.
I believe it.
Yep.
I believe it. Mm-hmm. Well, that was a great pick, man. That was a good pick for what's going on, So that's great. I have no idea what movie number this is on the Rehab season. I have to figure this out. I have to figure this out. Keep talking. I'll figure this out.
I want to say this is 6, but it feels like 7 because we did that little ASMR episode as well.
Well, that doesn't count.
Well, this movie might be 7.
That was a special.
Yeah,
that was a holiday special because I was out of town.
Actually, this movie should be 7.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I like it, but here's the thing. We've made it all the way through this episode. The way through this episode without one fucking commercial. How do you like them apples? You know why? Because we're not sellouts. All right, if we got stuff that has to deal with horror, we're going to sell it, or we will do it. But to be truthful, there's a lot of little bitty ads we could turn on, or we could sell you little meaningless shit that might give Mark and I $5 per episode. We're not doing that. You know why? Because we self-promote. Okay, that's what we do. And we care about horror. We don't care about selling you shit. But here's what we will do. If you're watching on YouTube, you better be subscribed, all right? Because it's completely free to do, and it helps us out big time. Also, for all those audio listeners on Spotify, Apple Podcast, pull up your phone. It's really easy to put a rating down. If you've never done it for a show, pretty simple. You don't even have to write anything. You can just click 5 stars. It means the world. Love you so much for that. But for some people who want some more content, and for our people over on our Patreon, we are going to unload and give you some good episodes for this month. Obviously, holiday season gets a little crazy, so it was hard to bust out and do a whole lot. We had a good November, though, good run. We're going to crank out a bunch of more content on there, but for as cheap as $3 a month, you can get a shitload of bonus episodes and help support the show, help us keep the lights on. And, yeah. Mark, did you find out what episode it was?
Yeah, this is episode 7.
Episode 7?
Yeah, so we got three more. Three more for the rehab season. So we got to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I have an idea. I'll run it by you when the microphone's going off. It's a fun one. I think it would be good little relief for the rehab season. I don't know, though. I'll run it by you.
Okay.
So we have no hints because we have no clue what we're doing for next week. But it's gonna be a nice surprise.
I've got one though too.
Do ya?
Yeah. Well, we could do yours next week. That's fine too.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
I'm gonna give you a hint for the one, and it may be next week or it may not be next week, but it'll be the week after. We might do Mark's movie next week. But the movie that we're gonna do is a cold movie. And it also shares the name of a very famous more newer, I would say like last 10 years. I don't know if you know it as much, but a Disney movie that was very, very popular.
Okay, I know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. That's a good one.
It is. It's cold, and like I kind of thought about that when I was watching this one, and I was like, "Why I'm surprised we haven't done that." And even though it is horror, it's not necessarily giant monsters. So it's kind of like it's on the cusp.
There's different categories. There's comedy horror. There's regular ass horror. There's creepy. There's all kinds. There's different tiers of the genre, which is perfect because we can cover them all, and we can do whatever the fuck we want because this is our show. And we don't have anybody telling us what to do. We make it for you.
That's right.
Oh, no.
We let it go. You can't hold us back anymore. I don't care what they say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyways. That's a song from that movie.
Yeah, I got it.
You know.
I know what we got it the
got
first
it.
time.
You know that song?
Yeah. Who doesn't know that stupid ass song?
Well, yeah, you had kids in your home around the time of that movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They all like that stupid shit.
Dude, there's something in that song. Like, any little girl can just crush it.
Dude, I'm
and
telling
it's
you,
funny.
dude, Disney is brainwashing your kids. You can see it.
They just make they make bangers, dude. I don't
That's
like
hard,
their
man.
stuff, but yeah, they make.
I was never a Disney kid, so I don't know.
Same. I'm not like a Disney person whatsoever, but like when I watch their music and how they pair it up, and I'm like, they just make catchy little Taylor Swift style songs.
No, it's fun. It's funny though. I realized like why I liked Cartoon Network TV. It makes sense why I like Cartoon Network cartoons so much. Mm-hmm. It's because Seth MacFarlane was working on a lot of them. Like he worked on Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then he made Family Guy. I was like, well, that makes sense why Family Guy was. I liked Family Guy when it first came out because it was fucking made by a dude who was working on my childhood favorite things.
Yeah, no wonder this show got so seasoned so quickly though, because he knew what the hell he was doing.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was interesting.
You ever see that thing with him where he was supposed to be on the plane on 9/11?
No.
He has like the ticket, it's not a fake story. Actually, he missed his flight on that morning.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Right.
Holy shit. My mom knew somebody that was scheduled to take a tour that day. And her friend's husband slept in and they missed the tour.
Holy shit, dude. Ooh. I heard a couple stories like that with like the Monday Night Football, because there was Monday Night Football and the Giants played. It was the Giants or the Jets. I forget. It was the New York team though, and everybody was watching. And like a couple people were late because they're like, I was fucking hammered for Monday Night Football. And like I saw this one guy interview though, and it was fucked up because he was like on a street level, and he's like looking up, and he's like, I'd be in there if it wasn't for fucking Monday Night Football. And he like wasn't saying it jokingly, like it's like a ha ha lucky me. He was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'd make a dumbass choice, and like I'm like,
and now you live. So if you make dumbass choices, like you know what I mean, it's not you're okay. You're sometimes the wrong decision is fucking life saving. So let's keep that there. That's if you take
For
anything,
sure, dude.
you take anything from the show. If you fucked up, it's not bad.
Yeah, man.
It's supposed to happen. You'll probably be grateful that you did. Well, that's
I felt for him.
That's it. That's it for us. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
We love you.